Hey, good morning, everyone. Can anyone confirm audible or not? Can you hear
Yes,
me?
sir.
Yeah. So, where we stopped in the last session, what we discussed. The last session we discussed like how to pass the data, right? How to pass the data to the components or not. Okay, it's like half an hour session only. It's a kind of discussion session. So for what topics we covered? Okay, first one is like why we go for React. Why we go for React. Okay, if anybody asks why we go for React, what's your answer? What is React? Why we go for React? Which version you are using currently? If anybody asks, what's your answer? Using React, what we can do? We can create some templates or content which is running inside the browser or not. Okay, just use it for what? Some user interface. I am the user. Okay, I am interacting with the one browser which loaded some content. That content is there now, which is loaded inside the browser. That content we can develop using React or not. We can prepare using React or not. See, this is the browser. In the browser, this is the content. This content we can develop using React. Not only React, there has some other libraries, frameworks also there. Tell me, okay, which libraries are there? Okay, React is a library. The next one is like Angular. The next one is like Vue. Okay, most popular nowadays. So if anybody asks why we go for React, okay, which is used for what? Okay, React is a library, you can say. React is like a library which is used to prepare some templates loaded inside the browser. That's it. It's a client-side library, you can say. Okay, which version you are using? Just you can say 18.3 for now. Okay, development purpose we are using like 18.3. So I said like React is a library, right? Okay, what is library? Is library? Don't think more. It's a simple JavaScript file, right? How many libraries you loaded in your application? Okay, in your React first program, how many libraries you loaded? Three libraries, right? Okay, React library. Another one is like React DOM library. The next one is like Babel is the library or not. If you observe, these all are like what? Simple JS files only, na? Yes or no? So one JavaScript file contains what? JavaScript file contains what? That contains maybe variables, maybe functions, maybe classes. Those classes again contains variable and methods or not. Just or no. React is a library, but it's like a not commercial. It's like a open source. Open source is nothing but free of cost. You can see the source code. My source code is like open. Anyone can see the source code or not. See react.development.js file. They directly given to us. You can see that 13,000 lines of code or not. If you want, you can check it. Yes or no. Understood? If anybody asks why we go for React, the answer is this one. Okay. Now, the next one. How many minimum libraries are required to prepare some templates using React? Minimum libraries. How many minimum libraries are required? Three libraries, React and React DOM, and the next one is like Babel or not. Now they are going to ask like, what is JSX? JSX. JSX is used for what? To prepare some templates in React components or not. We are using JSX to prepare the content in your React component or not. JSX stands for JavaScript and XML or not. It is the combination of HTML, JavaScript, and XML. Okay, is it like mandatory all should be there in the component? No, maybe only HTML, only JS, only XML, or it's a combination also. But one thing you have to remember, whenever you use JavaScript in your JSX, that JavaScript code should, that JavaScript code should enclosed with what? An expression or not? Yes or no? That JavaScript code should enclose with an expression. Agreed? After okay? The JavaScript code should enclose with an expression. And one more point is like the JavaScript code, okay, JSX code should compile. The JavaScript code should compile or not. Yes or no? Okay, you can Tell these points. What is JSX? If anybody asks, you can tell this. How many ways we can create a components in React? Why we go for components? Why we go for components? If anybody asks, what's your answer? Very simple. This is not only for React, in Angular or Vue, whatever it is. Why we go for component? Okay, it is used to prepare the templates simply. Prepare the templates which can be reusable or not. Which can be reusable or not. Got my point? Components are used for what? To prepare the templates. Those templates can reuse or not. Those templates can reuse it. Yes or no? Okay, how many ways we can create the components? Create component in React. There has two ways. One is like class components are there. Another one is like functional components also there. But the class components already deprecated. Okay, nowadays people are not using. Okay, so you can go with the functional components. Okay, so syntactically, okay, what is the syntax to create the functional components? Simple. Okay, it is like a normal JavaScript function only or not. So do you think is it like a component? Do you think is it like a component? Okay, no. My component in React, okay, should starts with a capital letter or not. Okay, if you not start with capital letter, okay, how we can use, how okay, my React is recognized this one like a component. That should be in the element format. That should be in the element format. The next one is like what starts with a capital letter or not. Starts with capital letter. Okay, now if you write like this, can anyone tell me this code, if I execute, what exactly the error was? You are looking for app, that app is there or not there? Starts with capital letter. App is not there. That the result, what exactly the error message you can get it? App is not defined or not? App is not defined. That the reason, make sure whenever you use like a component, that component should starts with a capital letter. The same component should be defined. Otherwise, you can get the not defined error or not. Yes or no? Okay. The component is there. Okay. If the component not written anything, what is the use of that one? My component should return some content, right? My component you created, but that is not written anything. What is the use of that component? Component purpose is what? You are preparing some content. That content you not returned back. Okay, there is no use. There is no use. So my component should return some content. This is one line or 100 lines, it's not a matter. Minimum one line you have to return. Now, when I can pass the data to the component, when I can pass the data to the component, okay, as per last discussion only you can tell. When I can pass the data to the component, I have a component is there. Directly I'm not able to pass it. When I can pass? Whenever you load a component or not. How we can load the component? In the element format or not? In the element format. It is like a self-closing element or open close element. Now tell me, when I can pass the data to the component means while loading. While loading. Okay, how we can pass the data? How we can pass the data to the component? How we can pass the data to the component? Okay, there has two ways over there. One is like, okay, if it is like a self-closing element, you can pass the data as like a attribute format. If it is like a open and closing element format, then the time I can pass the data like an attribute format as well as a children format or not, as well as a children. Yes or no? So if my component loading like this, you have only one option, that is like an attribute format. If the component loading like this, there has two options are there. Okay, like this. Now my question is, you pass the data to the component, how we can hold the data which is coming from outside to the component? How to hold or how to refer the data which is coming from outside to my component? Outside to my component, if it is like a functional component. Okay, very simple. Functional component is nothing but, okay, simple one function only you can say. How one function hold the data which is coming from outside means how one function receives the data. How one function hold the data which is coming from outside. How one function receive the data which is coming from outside. One how one function as like a parameter, simple, as like a parameter. Okay, this parameter name can be anything, but the proper name is there, that name is like a props. Okay, we are going to discuss in the next session, don't worry about that one. Now tell me, this particular, whenever the component you pass the data to the component, that data is going to that component in which format, in which format, the data format is what? Come on. Above data format. Above data. How my data is going to my component. It's like a JSON format or not. Now, how many attributes you can pass? Any number of attributes you can pass. That's the reason my attribute is nothing but what? It's a key value pair. See, the key value pair inside the JSX or the key value pair in the element, I can say those are like an attributes. The same key value pair comes to my JavaScript, I can refer those key value pairs as a object. See, here also key value pairs, here also key value pairs. The difference is what? In the key value pairs in the JSX, in the element we have. The key value pair in the open element you have, those are like an attributes. The same key value pairs, if you want to refer in the JavaScript, those are called as a, okay, JSON object or not. Those are called as a properties which are inside the JSON object or not. So here the key value pairs, okay, called as an attributes. The same key value pairs come here. How we can hold the key value pairs as like a object? That the reason my A is like what? An object or not, which contains, okay, properties key value like this or not. Yes or no? The next one is like how to the data, refer the data which is passing to the component as a component as a children. Children. Tell me how we can, how we can refer. We have a predefined prop key is there. That is what? Children or not. Children is the prop key. Whatever the children value you pass, that value you can. Okay, now whenever you have, okay, for example, if you pass the data, yeah, okay, self-closing, just simply n1 equals to 10, n2 equals to 20. This data go to which component? My app component as a parameter. Now my parameter, how it looks like? It's like a object which contains how many properties? My n1 10, n2 20 or not? Yes or no? Okay, now the same, okay, if you come here, the same, but now this is not a self-closing element, this is like a open close, this is like a open closing. And here if you pass the data, now tell me, my component receives the data as like an attribute format, as like a children. If it is like an attribute format, we have the key value pairs, just you can add the key value pairs. But if it is like a children, I have only the value, I don't have the key. So that what is my key here? My children is the key. It's the predefined key which represents the children or not. Okay, now you can ask a question. Hey, only one children or any number of children? Any number of children, it's not a matter. Here you can put any number of values, but it is refers like a single, okay, single property, refer with a single property, single key, that is like a children. Got my point? So up to here we discussed. So far, any questions? Anybody? Anyone have any questions?
Yeah, how to send multiple children? I mean, children one, children two, like that,
Yeah,
or
for example, okay, that one we can take a one example in the props, but real quickly. Now, if I write like this, for example, here I have one div is there. Okay, here I have one span is there. Now, tell me to my app, okay, how many children are there? To my app, how many? There has two children are there, right? So my children in this case, it is represents two dom elements. First dom element, if you want, of 0, second one 1, like that you can refer. Got my point?
yeah, got it.
Yeah, we'll see that one, that example. Okay. Any other any other questions, anyone? Okay, if no, let's go to our yourpost.com. Okay, .in. Okay, let's log in into this. Now go to practice session. Okay, now if you observe here, okay, the first one is like hello world. Okay, now if you see this, okay, the question is like render hello world text using React. Okay, I have one text box is there. In this text box, just create app component should return hello world text with the color red. Okay, that is my question. Now see, most of the things are there. Okay, just you have to fill this gap. You have to fill this gap. So first thing, if you want to develop, okay, if you want to render some template inside the browser using React, how many minimum libraries are required? Three. Those three loaded or not already? Those three already loaded or not? Okay, yes. Now if you come here, there has some CSS also added. That's okay, fine. That's okay, fine. CSS is there. Okay, perfect. Now inside the body, I have what? One container. That is also required. Already there or not? In the script tag, okay, type equals to text babel. Okay, now they given like some gap. That gap you have to fill it. After that, container they written document.get element by id of root. Yes, okay, container. And React DOM dot create root of container. Yes, okay, this container maintained by React and root dot render of yeah. If I run this one only, what exactly the error message? If I run this one only, whenever you use this editor, okay, make sure just you can open developer console window. Okay, it's not open. Just open the developer console window like this. Yeah. Now, if I run this, if I run this, what exactly the error message first? What exactly the error message? Come on. What exactly the error message?
Component is not defined.
Yeah, the app is not defined, right? In the entire program, app is there or not there? App is not there, right? Now, if I run this output, okay, now in the console, you can see what app is not defined or not. App is not defined or not. So, what you have to do? You have to create a app component or not. As per my requirement, create app component. See, you have to see the error message and you have to fix that error message. Like that you can practice. Now if I write a app component like this, okay, now what exactly the output was? Will it gives me any error? Will it gives me any error? What exactly the output was?
Return statement is not there.
Okay, now if you not written any statement, okay, it is not gives me any mess, okay, any template. Okay, you not written any content. That means it's not render anything in the container. Now, if you observe here, okay, if you observe here, now this is my container. Okay, inside the container, okay, something is okay. This all stuff is there, but your output is what? Okay, in the pop up here, the output nothing is there. Don't see this one. Why? Because here customized, but your output is not visible or not. As per our requirement, what is our output? Create app component should return hello world text, right? So what we have to do? Can I return? Return
Return.
h1 hello world. Close my h1. Now if I run this, my hello world text printed or not? But as per my requirement, what I have to do? Okay, the text color with what? The text color should be red. So already they given you one class name, right? Already they given like one class name or not? Can I use that class name here? How you can use that class name? My class name equals to
Class name equal to CR.
no or not. Now instead of class, you can use like a class name. Why? Because it's a JSX. They recommended to use like what? They recommended to use like what? Class name or not? Understood? Got my point? Okay. Okay then. Now the next one you can say uh, name file. Name file. Okay, now this particular one, who want to do? I'm going to give the permission. Okay, just you can do this. Anyone? Just very simple. Should display hello Naresh IT 5 times. Should display hello Naresh IT 5 times. Create the name component which should return hello Naresh IT with blue color with the font size is like 30 pixel. That is a requirement. Who want to do it? Anyone? I'm going to give the host. Hmm? Simple.
You have to take one
I tried
function
the
and
one.
one
Could
component.
I try?
You want to try? Okay, you already have the account, right? In the your post. You have the account?
No, sir. No, sir.
You don't have.
No, sir.
Okay, in that case, you're not able to share your screen, right? Okay, no issues. You can tell. I'll. Okay. Now, what is this? Should display hello Naresh ID 5 times, right? Only one text box is there. Create name component which should return hello Naresh ID. That's okay, fine. Okay. Final output should match like this. Now you can analyze this one first. What is this? 3 libraries required. There are not there. First question. There. Okay. React what purpose we are going to use? Anyone? One line answer. React what purpose we are going to use? To recognize the components. React doc,
To render a React component.
render component
Render
inside
the
the container. Babel,
To compile
Compilation.
the
compile the JSX. Compile the JSX content. Okay,
yes.
done. You have okay some CSS. That's okay, fine. Okay, you have the container or not to place your content. Yes. Okay. After that, text Babel is there. Now, if you come here, there has some gap is there. You have to fill it. There has a component is there. Okay na? Inside the component div name like this is there, and container document.get element by id of root, yeah, and this container managed by react dot, yes, my root dot render of, yeah. So my execution is going to start from here or not? Actual execution, yes, no? Okay, first my react, if the element format and starts with capital letter, my recognize this one like a, my react recognize this one like a, come on. My
Component.
React component.
Component.
First, it is looking for that component. There or not there? Yes, there. So that go to that component. My component is which type of component? Come on, which type of component? Functional component. It is like which kind of function? Arrow function. Okay, next week we are going to discuss about the arrow function. Normal function also you can write it, no problem. So if it is like a functional component, when you can get this particular value, when you can get the written value, whenever you call it. So my React is going to call this particular component and get this written value or not. In this written value, first div, it's like what? Normal HTML, my browser can recognize. Again, this is what? This is what? Element with the capital letter. Who come into the picture to recognize this one? Is my browser knows about the name? No. Who come into the picture? React. Now, my React recognizes this one like what? A component. Now, it is looking for that component. Is there any name component is defined in the context?
No.
No. Then what is the error? What is the error? Name is not defined, right?
Name is not defined.
Name is not defined. Name is not defined. So that you have to define that name or not. You have to define that name. Now, by seeing this one, you can define, okay, one variable also you can define with the name only. One function you can define, one component you can define. What you want me to define? Name as what? By seeing this one. Name as a variable, function, class, component, by seeing this one. Element with capital letter, component, right? Component. It is which kind of
Oh,
component? Okay, I know functional component, just I created like a functional component name, that's it. Okay, now if you come here, okay, no errors, nothing. Now you can come to your requirement. What is your requirement? Create name component, it should returns hello Naresh IT or not. Okay, with what? With what? Blue color and font size 30 pixel, and blue color already they given the class, font size 30 pixel also already they given the class. Then the time that's easy for us or not? So you have to return h1 hello Naresh IT, close my h1. Now, can I add my classes? Now tell me, okay, how many classes you can add? Any number of classes you can add it. One class to another class you can differentiate like what? One class to another class you can differentiate like what? Using space.
Space.
Okay, now if you click on this one, my hello Narishati printed like 5 times. Yes or no? See, this is easy program only, but you have to think. Okay, you have to see the error message, you have to fix it. See the message, you have to fix it. Okay, if you write the program directly, it's a matter of 1 minute. But okay, you have to see the error, analyze the error. In your mind, you have to think, oh, this is, if you get like this kind of error, what exactly the fix is required? That kind of thinking is required. Okay, so the next one. Okay, the box. Okay, here, same, you know that. Should display 4 boxes 2 by 2. Okay, each box contains box numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, in the create box component. Okay, in the text box 1, create the box component. This is everyone knows. But extra thing is what? You are passing the data to the component or not? Yes, no. You are passing the data to the component or not. If you run this one, what exactly the error message? Now this time you have to tell first. If you run this one, what exactly the error message? Come on. Box is not defined. Yes, no. Box is not
Yes,
defined.
yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so can we create the box? Yes. Okay, now come here. You have to return one box, right? Okay, now if it is like a box, already they created like what? Okay, you have to write some CSS to make it like box. Already they given the CSS or not, you can check it. Yes, they given. Then the time, can you use that? How we can use it? My class name equals to box like this. Now, if you come here, okay, you can see 4 boxes or not. Okay, what next? You are passing the data to the box, right? Yes, no. Okay,
Yeah.
now tell me, whenever you pass the data to the component, how we can hold the data? How we can hold the data? As a parameter. Parameter
Parameter.
name can be anything. For
Yeah.
no data, in future, it's like a props. This data is which type? Which kind of data it is holding? Key
Integer.
value pair data.
Yeah.
Key value. Key value pair data. How we can represent in JavaScript as a JSON.
JSON.
JSON. If it is like a JSON, how we can retrieve the data? Using dot notation or square bracket
Yeah.
notation. Okay, now tell me, why this data dot number? Why not value? It is a
Curly brace.
JSX. It is a JavaScript code. No? In the JSX, the JavaScript code should
Curly brace.
enclose it with an expression or not. Okay, now you can see this. Okay, na? Got my point?
Yeah, got it.
Okay. The next one. Yeah. Now they have a player component. The display player name, runs, and location. In the text box, create the player component. And this time, this is also you know that. This time, if you run this, you can get the error. Player is not defined.
Define.
Now this time you are passing the data. Na? How many ways you are passing the data? In which format you load the component? It's like a self-closing or it's like a open close. Come on, the component, how you load it? It is like a open close, right? It's a open element, it's a closing element. If it is like a open close, how many, okay, if it is like a open close, how many ways we can pass the data? How many ways we can pass the data? 2 ways. One is like an attribute format, another one is like what? Children or yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now can I return? Can I return? Okay. Close my H1. Okay. My name is okay. I'm from or okay. My name is Sachin. I'm from Mumbai. Runs are 20,000. Like this, I want to print it. Okay, na? Now this data go to which component? Come on, player component.
Player
Okay,
component.
so how we can hold the data which is coming from outside to my function? Parameter.
Parameter.
What kind of data you hold? Key value, key value. Here only value is there. That's okay, you know that. Key value pairs, how we can hold in JavaScript? As a JSON.
Yes,
So once you have the data in the JSON format, how we can retrieve the data? Using dot
dot
notation.
notation.
Dot notation.
Okay.
Am from Mumbai. Now tell me, Mumbai is coming as a children, right? Okay, if it is like a children, I have only value, but the key is what?
Children.
Children. Is a predefined or not? Yes or no? Okay, my runs are coming like what? My runs
That
are
is
coming
what
like what? Normal only, right?
Children.
Yes or no? My runs are coming like normal only. Now see, I retrieve the data using dot notation. I retrieved the data using square bracket notation or not. Both will work or not. Now, if you come here, my name is Sachin, I'm from Mumbai, runs are 20,000. It's like working as expected or not? Yes, no? Come on. Got my point? Okay, so these first five you can complete. First four, okay. Count we not discussed. Okay, count is okay. Increment the count plus one on button click. So the events, the stuff we not yet discussed, we'll discuss that one. Okay, in the next session. Understood, everyone? These four you can complete, and JavaScript, okay, we are going to add this JavaScript first four, okay, or first you can target yourself based on your availability. You can target yourself, you can plan, okay, daily 1 2 3 like that. Okay, over that. The next thing is like you can go to Kalam schools. Are you writing the programs or not? If you not started, just you can start. Okay, your JavaScript, right? Okay, so if you have an idea Python, Java also you can write it. JavaScript program you can write it. Okay, just start. Okay, it's like a basic level. Daily basis we are going to give one program. Okay, in the Kalam schools, what is the program? See, create a variable with the array of objects, three objects. Object should have name, runs, location. Add 100 property to all objects with some value using array class method. Okay, so finally the output should be, okay, array of three objects, and every object should have name, runs, location, 100 HUN. So this is my requirement. You can write the program here. You can see the output here itself. For example, you can write a function fn, okay, console.log of, okay, fn. Okay, now just write fn. Now if you run this one, you can see the output here itself. Okay, now you can check here itself. If are you okay with this, just you can do comment. Whenever you comment this one, remaining people can see the comments and everything is visible here. Your comment is here only, remaining people's comments here you can see. Understood? So just try to write the programs on daily basis. This is one program. Now come to your post. Come to your post. Not only practice sessions. Now let's go to the home. In the home also, every day we are going to give like one program. Okay, here the program is like what? Okay, there has an array is there. This array output should be 2. What is that one? You know, most repeated element in the array I want. Here the most repeated element is like 2. Most repeated element is like 2, so that 2 output should be there. Okay, don't worry, just try to write it. Okay, if you're not able to write, just note it down, that particular program. Okay, we are going to discuss one day. Okay, where you can write this program, you know. Okay, here your post one tab you can see. Okay, here you can write your program and just you can do comment. Okay, this is your post. And the next one is like one more website. Already I told you, writetest.in. Writetest.in. The same credentials you can use for 3 websites. Okay, here also you can see one more program, JavaScript program on daily basis. Write a function to find the factors of the given number. Find the factors of the given number. If I give like a 6 factors, how many are there? 1 is one factor, 6 is one factor, 2 is one factor, 3 is one factor. Like that, my output should be 4. So here you can write your program. Here you can write your program. Why is 3 places means? Kalam schools, it's a basic concept wise. Write test, it's like a medium level. The next one, your post is like something high level, like that you can think. In the write test, again one more feature, just you can write the tests. Okay, now you can see like a React. Now submit. Okay, you can get like 20 questions. 20 questions. These 20 questions you can complete it. Whenever you get like 20 out of 20, you can stop writing. If you get like 20 out of 20, you can stop writing. These questions are like random, you can get it. There is hundreds of questions are there. They are going to pick like randomly 20 questions. Below which hook we are going to use is in Redux reducer take how many arguments. Use which method we can get the forward reference. Okay, like this. Like this. Okay, you are like initial stage. You may not know about this answer, but end of the day, you should complete all this. Got my point? Okay, like this HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript, React, you can focus. Got my point? Okay.
Yeah, it is really nice, sir.
Any questions, anyone? So we can stop for now. Okay, and you got a message, right? So Monday, next week onwards, the meeting link is going to change. You get this information or not? Okay, if you're not, you have to pay the fee. If you have any concerns, just you can drop a mail or directly talk with me. Okay, I will. So this is the one. They shared or not this one? The group
Yeah,
they shared.
shared. Yeah, shared.
Yeah. Okay, next week onwards, the link is going to change. Okay, if you have any concerns regarding fees, just let us know. Okay, any other questions, anyone? So 9 o'clock, we have a workshop session. If you are interested, you can join.
Regarding what, sir?
Workshop is regarding just using React. Just we are going to create like one AI related application. Okay, we are going to give some prompt message like ChatGPT, you can say.
Okay.
Okay, we are going to give one question. You can get the answer. Okay, that answers and everything we can get it from Gemini API. Okay, Gemini models. Okay, it's a simple 1 hour.
Same link or which link, sir?
Yeah, we are going to share that link. Otherwise,
Sure,
you can
sure.
check, you can see in your mail. You can get the mail. Okay, I'll share it. Okay, they also say okay before
Sure, sure.
the group. Okay.
Sure. Thank you, sir.
Okay then. Thank you guys. Thanks for joining. Bye.